Solo Leveling was the but really, there should have been more. I said in my first video about the series that since A1 Pictures had that many delays, they should have done at least a double episode premiere. I didn't watch it until the anime reached episode 6, but I couldn't help but notice that people might have been peeved off if they watched the premiere. Now I'm going to take this broad notion even further. They should have done 24 episodes, not 12. Again, this is me being greedy because I can see the logic behind the decision. The series isn't that long. At least I don't think so. I do want to say that the story's in the same region as Demon Slayer and Mashal's story lengths, but the format of the manhwa is so different that I can't be too sure. I do believe if it was in the manga format, it wouldn't be longer than a typical 200 chapter series. Even if it was, a large contribution to that would be the insane number of page-sized panels, which even then, most of them would be heavily downsized. Anyway, onwards to the show. A1 Pictures have reminded studios on how to make a good adaptation. Maybe not Mappa, because let's be honest, they've been knocking those out the park. But yeah, I was initially worried about how they were going to adapt this, because as you can tell by the story, it's heavily centered by our main character. So definitely not for someone who specifically enjoys a well-integrated ensemble cast. Then there's the storytelling of the central figure's journey. The investment in Sun Jin-woo was weird. Just let me explain by what I mean by that. The emotional investment is shallow? Look, I want him to succeed. Me, love a good underdog zero to heroes story. But with the series, it's more of an excess intrigue in seeing the story through more than anything. Not because I'm a serious Sun Jin-woo stan, but I fully respect that he's been handed an opportunity and he's definitely not letting that go to waste with sheer recklessness. He's a grown man, so he's got grown man shit to deal with. Now, I'm not going to ignore the nostalgia bias when I say this, but I just can't put Sun Jin-woo on the same pedestal as Goku, Naruto, and even Ichigo. While we find out in their respective stories that they had an inheritance of talents, we still saw them do the dog work that led to their greatness. Now, obviously, Sun Jin-woo does put in work. Outsmarting opponents who are clearly stronger than him is something all gamers should resonate with, making that Sun Jin-woo W ever so sweeter. But the amount of time spent reading or watching that journey is barely half in comparison to the story of our big shonen protagonist. It sounds like I'm trying to play it down. I assure you, I'm not. This is another Power Fantasy series that's going to end up with 5 or 6 seasons. I've drawn parallels between Sun Jin-woo and these characters who have been prominent for many years. And like I said before, this is nostalgia bias, and for what it's worth, I could easily see my teen self drooling over this series the same way I did with Naruto. The anime included more in the story without majorly slowing down the pacing. Either that or I was moving way too fast with the manhwa because the paneling made the action sequences really addicting. Yeah, who am I trying to fool? That definitely was the case. But I do remember seeing a couple scenes in episode 8 and was like, well, why don't I remember this? I quickly flipped over to chapter 27 and 28 and I was like, ooh, it's anime only. Well, the manhwa done messed up in that respect. This is exactly what they were missing. An extra layer of characterization in characters that aren't Sun Jin-woo. Things like the burdens of being a hunter, the remorse of feeling helpless despite actually being a relatively decent ranked hunter. Yeah, many have said that the anime is the better version, and honestly I'm in that crowd as well. The animation, yeah, it's good. Don't really need to tell you that. Personally, I'm not sure if I like the overall harsher contrasting colours, but since it's very similar to the manhwa, screw it, I think. The harsher colours definitely works for when things get gritty and there's a lot of blood being splashed and shadowy elements are brought into the fray. Mix that in with the swooping shots and the fight choreography, yeah, A1 cooked with this one. Is this anime of the year worthy?
Fuck no!
Not with the competition that's already around, even among the new anime already eligible for next year's awards despite airing last year. A few of the voice actors could be in the running for an award for their performances, but if we're being honest, there's already a few in other shows in contention for that prize as well. Despite all that, this series should be worthy of even the elitists to have a crack at, if they haven't already. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, it helps these videos get seen. Thanks for watching, have a blessed one folks, see ya.